What's up, guys? Natalie here. I'm actually homesick from work today. I took a sick day because if you can't tell, I have like this really bad sinus something cold going on. I don't know what it is. I felt like really bad yesterday. I'm starting to feel a little bit better today, but obviously not good enough to go into work. I do want to still feel somewhat productive today. So we are going to organize my fabric collection. Yay. Okay, so I got some stuff from Amazon to help me with this process. Yeah, let's just get into it. But before we get into it, I'm hungry, so I'm gonna make a smoothie. Okay, so this is what we're working with here. Right now I have this shelf and I just have like somewhat folded fabric. I at one point tried to color coordinate it. It still is a little bit color coordinated. And then I just have like these bins of random stuff. I've got zippers and patterns and elastic and lace and whatever. So I'm still gonna be using this bookshelf, but I want to use it in a way that's going to be easier for me to, one, find the fabric that I want to find, and two, just looks a lot prettier. Here's some pictures of what I'm going for. So that's kind of the goal. I did some research on how to get this. I came across this YouTube video right here, and she used these boards called comic book boards, and these are apparently used for comic books, I guess, to help display them and for them to keep their shape, but they are the perfect size and kind of thickness to wrap fabric around. And then to secure it in place, you get these clear, I think they're called alligator clips, and I just got a pack of 200 for like $6, and you wrap the fabric around and then you can just clip it in place. And then this way they can kind of go in vertically. So that's how I'm going to be displaying the fabric. Then to display or organize the rest of my sewing accessories, I got these refrigerator containers. I got a pack of 8 and they're all the same size. I got them on sale for like 17 bucks. They were normally around $30, so I say that's a pretty good deal. Right now I have my alligator clips in here. But this is the size of them, and I thought they would be perfect for putting zippers and elastics, and they're small enough, and hopefully they fit on the shelves well. I didn't measure anything. I just kind of guessed, but even if I put them this way, I think they'll still look nice. So yeah, that's the plan. For the method of how I'm gonna be wrapping up this fabric, I am gonna follow what this lady did in her YouTube video. So I'll link that below if you wanna watch her do it. But basically you just need a table and your boards and some fabric, and you're just gonna be folding it and rolling it around. It's not rocket science by any means. So I think I'm just gonna take it one shelf at a time because it is still kind of color coded. Yeah, so let's just get into this. I'm just gonna time lapse myself. Cool. Okay, this definitely takes a long time. I got half of this shelf done. Here's the other half I have to do. There's the half I've done. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some of them in there and see if it looks okay. I definitely have bigger pieces of fabric than everyone else did in the videos that I saw, but yeah, I like how it looks. That's not bad. I mean, it's a little wonky, but it's better than that. Okay, cool. Let's keep on working. one shelf done. Let's go move on to the blue and green shelf now. So as I'm folding, if I find any like little pieces that would be good for like patchworking, but not quite scraps, but not quite big enough to be folded, I'm just kind of throwing them into a pile. And I'm gonna do something different with all of my quote unquote fat quarters later. So right now I'm just trying to tackle the bigger pieces. This definitely is gonna take a long time. Like, I was hopeful to finish it today, but I don't know. We shall see. Shelf number 2 done. I'm loving how it's looking so far. Now on to my crazy pink shelf. This has been humbling for me because just when I thought I was like actually getting somewhere, I realized that I have this whole other bucket of fabric. I have so much fabric. Like, look at this. Here's what we have so far. Like, it's looking amazing. Haven't touched that yet. And then I just realized, like, this, I thought there was other stuff in here. No, it's just fabric. Oh my gosh. I will say, I am getting rid of some, like big scraps, things that I don't need. I'm putting in this, and I'm gonna donate it to a local craft store, the one that I went to in my last video. Love, don't love. And it's 1:30. I gotta keep on going. Oh my gosh. So I officially ran out of the comic book boards and I got 100 of them. So that means that on this bookshelf there are 100 different fabrics and I think it looks amazing. Is it perfectly color coded? No. But is this gonna help me be able to see everything? Totally. So I'm loving how these 4 shelves look. Now I just need to deal with this. And this is stuff that was too big to go on the boards. This is stuff that I'm donating. And then that are all little scraps and fat quarters. And also, these are fat quarters. Those are some bolts. So still a lot to do. loving how this looks for sure. I think this is my plan for how I'm going to organize everything. So I've got this metal cart right here. Right now it has like random patterns on it and it is just an absolute mess. But I think this is going to be a good place to store rolled up kind of bigger things that had too much fabric to actually put on a board. So like all of this I'm going to roll up nicely and I think put on this. Then my plan is to use this for all the fat quarters. I'm thinking, I wish there was a better way for me to see them. And then I'm gonna organize all of these clear boxes. They do fit on these shelves pretty well and put all the stuff in there. And then down here I have like foam and interfacing. I'm gonna try to find a better way to organize it. I'm not sure about that quite yet. I think the first thing I'm going to tackle are the big ones because that to me is like the least amount of fun. So I'm going to clear off this rolling cart and then roll up the fabric and put it on there. This is so much work, but it's going to be so nice when it's done. So the big problem is I just don't have a good place to put all of these patterns. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I think for now I'm just gonna lay them out nicely so I at least can use this. But if you guys have any recommendations on how you store your patterns, I have limited space here. So whatever is the smallest or easiest, but a lot of these are like also I've used so many times so they're not in the greatest shape. Show you something real quickly. I found the first dress, the first thing that I ever sewed. She is wonky. So it was this dress pattern. The straps are tied, so they're untied right now. Like my gathering on this is so bad. And it barely fits me. Like it was so hard to get it on my body. I was so proud of it and it was the first thing that I ever did. Yeah, so like here's the first thing I ever sewed and then now here's my latest thing that I'm working on right now. This bustier top. The skirt is not finished yet, but I feel like we have improved quite a lot. So if you start sewing, always keep the first thing that you made because it's so fun to look back on. Well, this is not organized by any means, but it's just gonna have to do for now. I'll work on this whole situation later. Now I think I'm gonna go into the tedious task of folding up all of those scraps and fat quarters and organizing them by color. This is exhausting, probably just because I'm like not healthy right now. Thinking about these fat quarter situations and my supplies. At first I was gonna put the supplies in the nice new containers that I got, but I have so many cute little pieces of fabric. Like, look at this. Obsessed. This, and this, and this, and this, and this, okay? And I want them to be seen. So I'm thinking now, I displayed the fat quarters in these and then had them on the shelves with the rest of the fabric, and then all the ugly supplies I'm gonna store away in like these containers. I think I like how that sounds. So I still need to fold them up and I still need to organize them by color. Cue the time lapse. Got these all laid out, and I'm just gonna start trying to organize things. I think I'm gonna try to put this foam in this, since that no longer has the fat quarters. There's also more things in here. Yeah, there's not gonna be too much of a rhyme or reason for this. I'm just gonna try to organize it as best as possible, but it's gonna be what's gonna be, I think. You don't wanna watch me do this in real time, so cue the time lapse. We are making good progress. Okay, the bookshelf is pretty much done. Right now, I just need to like clean up everything else. Like this is a mess. That's a mess. But over there, not a mess. Stay tuned for the reveal. Okay, I was gonna make you wait for the reveal, but I changed my mind because I'm ready to be done with this project. So I did tidy up the area. Some of the corners are not great, but the main purpose of this video was to get the fabric organized, and it is organized, let me tell you. So here she is. Color coordinated reds, oranges, yellows, blues and greens, pinks-ish, purpley, some whites, and then we just had some random ones that kind of didn't fit on the shelves. In this container, we've got some vintage patterns and some serger thread. Down here we have all of our smaller pieces or fat quarters. In here I've got like trims and bias tape and some lace. I've got some different kind of containers here. Like this is a bias tape maker. I've got my boning there. And then this is just all zippers. I'm surprised how many zippers I have for someone who's only ever put in one zipper in her life. Gonna get better about that, but I have a lot for whenever I'm ready. This is kind of like snaps and Velcro, and this is like underwire chain, things like that, elastics in here. And then this is all lace trim. In here is mostly manuals, but I also stuck my little mini iron, and then I have all of these patchwork colored squares. Didn't have a good place to put them, just stuck them here for now. And then in this one, we have all the bigger pieces of fabric that were a little too large to put on the comic board. So I just kind of rolled them up. They're not really organized by color or anything, but thankfully there's not too many of them, so I think I'll be able to find them. Back here, I've got two different bolts that I have. And then in here is really just all that foam. I just kind of squished it in there. So yeah, love how it turned out. Let's just hope that I can maintain it so it will continue to look like this. I'm gonna go take a nap now because I'm exhausted. That was a lot of work, and I started like at 11, it's like almost 4. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. So satisfying.